hearing. I'd like to join welcoming Commissioner Hall before the committee as well. Those looking for good news in these numbers won't likely find them. The employment data released this morning shows the impact of a deepening recession. Payroll employment declined by $663,000 in March, with losses broadly shared among major industry groups. The unemployment rate increased 8.5%, the highest since November 1983, and current trends suggest further increases are likely in coming months. The job figures reported today add to the growing body of evidence indicating that the administration's economic forecast is much too optimistic. The unemployment rate is already significantly above the administration's forecast for all of 2009. The White House projects that real GDP will fall 1.2% this year and rise to over 3% next year, compared with the blue chip consensus forecast of decline of almost twice that much, 2.6% this year, and increase to 1.9% next year. The CBO figures also show how far the administration is likely off in their numbers for this year. And as we go forward, what the administration's unduly optimistic economic assumptions create are a major problem. These optimistic assumptions are a key foundation of the President's budget proposals and lead to artificially low deficit and debt projections. And no wonder the economists called the assumptions in the budget deeply flawed in an article entitled "Wishful and Dangerous Thinking." Their effect is to make the administration's expansive new spending proposals look less threatening than they actually are. The reason the Democrats' congressional budget resolution got so far off track is that it's based on the President's budget. This is why a variety of accounting gimmicks are needed to hide the true costs of the administration's dangerous spending spree in the Democrats' House budget resolution, which passed last night. As the Washington Post said last week in this resolution, quote, "Congress deals a blow to honest budgeting," unquote. The Democrats now are attempting to shoehorn expensive administration proposals based on unrealistic economic assumptions into a House budget that uses more realistic economic assumptions from the CBO. A realistic economic forecast would indicate that the fiscal situation is already very grim, with exploding deficits and debt for the foreseeable future. According to a recent study of many financial crises by Professors Kenneth Rogoff and Carmen Reinhart that has become an instant classic, the U.S. national debt can be expected to increase by $8 to $9 trillion just over the next 3 years. According to Rogoff, inflation of 8 to 10% is one likely way the government will end up financing the huge run-up in federal debt. He compares the coming economic environment to the 1970s, which was a time of rising inflation, weak economic growth, and rising unemployment. The Democrats' budget will add yet more deficit spending and debt to the huge amounts of each already in the pipeline. The result will be much higher taxes and inflation in the future and lower economic growth. Higher inflation in coming years will further reduce the American standard of living as incomes and retirement funds are further eroded. The last time Democrats controlled both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue for a significant length of time was in the 1970s, and stagflation was the result. So nobody should be surprised if history repeats itself. I yield back.
Thank you, and I'd now like